This will be a short segment on how I'm going to grade you. I have a chart here. You can see it's divided into 6 parts, and I'm going to explain what each of those parts is, and I will place this in the syllabus start here section, right where I explain the criteria for your final grade. So let's start. The first part I'm going to talk about is the double entry journals. You're going to have 2 of those during the session, and that's worth 20% of your grade. So these are written assignments. I explain these during the course. There's videos that tell you how to do these. But the first one will not be weighted as much as the second one. So there is also vocabulary in your own words and an AFL video, which I believe is only about 1 or 2% of this total grade. So your vocabulary in your own words, I think, is about 5% of this double entry journal, and then your 2 double entry journals add up to the rest of the 20%. The discussion boards, I believe there are 5 of those, and there are, again, those will be weighted less in the beginning and more at the end. These will total 25% of your grade. So there is more weight on your discussion boards because to me that's the guts of this course. And you will get feedback, so that is why the later ones will be weighted more. Your last discussion board will be weighted the most. So if you're thinking of taking a discussion board off, don't make it the last one because that's a big chunk of your grade. There are 8 quizzes. Those are all weighted the same because they're all different. It's not like I can give you feedback and you can get better. But those are worth 20% of your grade, and that's a 20% that you should do well on because I have quiz discussion boards with the exception of true-false quizzes. You get to discuss your first attempt. You get 2 attempts at everything except the true-false quiz. So you should do well on those. And the selective response test is another major chunk, is 20%, and we will work on that. And again, you will have a first draft and you will have a discussion board. And that won't be counted as a discussion board. It'll all be factored into the selective response test grade. So your initial draft discussion board might be worth 1 or 2%, and then your revised draft discussion board might be worth 1 or 2%, and your final selective response test after your first and second draft will be worth, I think it's 15 to 18%, somewhere in that area. So overall, the whole selective response test process is worth 20%. Your analytic summary, you only have 1 draft of that, and that's worth 10% of your grade. And finally, you have every course at Touro in the graduate schools of special ed should have baseline surveys. You have a baseline survey at the beginning of the course that's worth 1% of your grade, and then you'll have another one at the end of the course which is worth 4% of your grade, and that one is worth more because you have to use sources from the course to support what you've learned in the course based on those questions. So that's worth 5%. So that's the how your final grade will be determined. And I will, if you go into the grade into your grades, you will see and I'll go into the full grade center here, and you'll see at the end there is a final, what it says, final grade here, and that's a running total of your grade. So there should be no surprise when it comes to the end of the course how you're doing. So you shouldn't have to ask me, hey, how am I doing, Dr. Tom? Because this final grade column here will give you an overall running total of your grade. So, and then at the end, when everything is, you've completed everything, that will be your final grade. So that's it.